The containment cell hummed with energy barriers that could hold a Thoraxian battlecruiser, yet the human sat motionless in its center, hands clasped behind his head. Admiral Zekthar of the Galactic Council observed the prisoner through the transparent aluminum viewing panel, his 4 eyes narrowing with suspicion. "This specimen appears unremarkable," the Vorthok commander noted to his aide. "Standard bipedal configuration, minimal natural armor, no visible weapons. Why did it take 3 battalions to capture 1 human?" The aide consulted his datapad nervously. "Sir, our forces report he eliminated 47 soldiers before being overwhelmed. The casualty report indicates—" "Impossible," Zekthar interrupted. "Humans are a primitive species, barely capable of interstellar travel. Their military technology is centuries behind ours." The prisoner opened his eyes, cold, calculating blue orbs that seemed to pierce through the barrier itself. He stood slowly, each movement fluid and controlled, like a predator conserving energy. On his torn uniform, barely visible beneath the dirt and alien blood, were patches marking his unit designation and a name tape reading Taylor. "Bring me his identification records," Zekthar ordered. Minutes later, the aide returned with trembling appendages. "Sir, according to our intelligence network, this is Commander Jake Taylor, United States Navy. But there's something else. The humans have a designation system for their elite warriors. Callsigns, they call them. And this one's callsign is Reaper, sir." The name sent an involuntary chill through Zekthar's exoskeleton. Even in the furthest reaches of Galactic Council space, whispered stories had reached their intelligence networks. Tales of a human warrior who appeared like death itself on battlefields across 3 systems: the Kepler Station massacre, the Proxima Centauri incident, the complete annihilation of a Zorgan pirate fleet by a single human operative. They had assumed these were myths, propaganda designed to inflate human military capabilities. No single being could accomplish such feats. Zekthar activated the communication array. "Human designation, Taylor. You will provide us with intelligence regarding your species' military capabilities." The man called Reaper looked directly at the observation window, though the barrier was supposedly one way. A slight smile played across his scarred features. "That's going to be a problem for you. You are in no position to make demands. Cooperate, and your death will be swift." "Admiral," the aide whispered urgently, "incoming transmission from Fleet Command. They're demanding we release the prisoner immediately." Preposterous! What leverage could the humans possibly have? The aide's translation device stuttered as he read the message. "Sir, they say if we don't return Reaper within 6 hours, they'll consider it an act of war. They've mobilized their entire Pacific Fleet and something called Task Force Vengeance." Zekthar laughed, a sound like grinding metal. "Empty threats. What can their primitive vessels do against our shields?" That's when the proximity alarms began wailing. "Sir," the communications officer's voice cracked with panic. "Multiple human vessels dropping out of hyperspace. They're by the 7 moons. How did they get here so fast?" Through the viewport, sleek human destroyers materialized like vengeful spirits. Their hulls bore scorch marks from a dozen battles, and their weapon arrays tracked with predatory precision toward the Council station. The lead vessel broadcast on all frequencies. "This is Admiral Sarah Chen of the UES Retribution. You have taken one of our own. This is your only warning. Return Commander Taylor, or we will introduce you to the concept of human vengeance." Inside his cell, Reaper's smile widened. "You wanted to know about human military capabilities, Admiral? You're about to get a demonstration." Zekthar's confidence evaporated as scanning reports flooded in. The human ships weren't just advanced, they were beyond anything in the Council's databases. Adaptive armor that shifted like living tissue, weapons that seemed to bend physics itself, and energy signatures that suggested power cores operating on principles the Galactic Council had deemed impossible. "How is this possible?" Zekthar demanded. Reaper stood and approached the barrier, his presence somehow filling the entire cell despite his modest stature. "You made a fundamental miscalculation, Admiral. You assumed we were primitive because we're new to space. But humans have been perfecting the art of war for millennia. We've turned destruction into a science, survival into an instinct, and loyalty into something worth dying for." The station shuddered as warning shots from the human fleet struck empty space nearby, each blast a promise of devastation to come. "When you took me," Reaper continued, "you didn't capture a prisoner. You rang the dinner bell for the most dangerous predators in the galaxy." And Admiral, his eyes gleamed with cold satisfaction, "We're hungry." Outside, the human fleet held position like wolves surrounding prey, waiting for the word to show the Galactic Council why humanity had earned its place among the stars.